Hello there. This afternoon I'm fortunate enough to be in Cheval Blanc in Saint Emilion, and I'm tasting the 2024 en-primeur wine that they've created here. And we've just had a very interesting meeting with Pierre-Olivier Clouet, who is in charge of the production of this wonderful wine, with him just explaining to us the extent to which they had to sort the vintage, repeatedly going through every batch of fruit and assessing the density required for the alcohol levels that they wanted, making sure the taste was correct, and in fact pointing out to us that somewhere in the region of 34% of all the fruit that they picked was either overripe, underripe, and therefore never made it into the wine in 2024. The wine we've tried, however, as a result, to my mind, is a really lovely, pure example of what Cheval Blanc should be. So let's have a look at it, shall we? Firstly, you've got really quite a deep, dark, black purple colour. It has a purple rim. It's not opaque, but it's bordering on it. Swirling the wine, it's forming some quite generous tears on the glass, suggesting to me that there's a good tannic density there, and possibly a bit of glycerol as well. So let's have a look at the aromas, shall we? The aromas seem restrained, but there's a wonderful black fruit there, a sort of a perfume, lifted almost sort of elderberry perfume. And then there's a sort of a refined note of almost a gravel. There's something sort of crushed rock about the wine. Yes, the more I'm smelling it, the more you've got that deep, rich black fruit coming through. Very attractive, quite intense. So let's have a taste. What's impressive about this wine is just how smooth it is. It's got a lovely streak of acidity going through it. It's not tart or harsh, but it's almost making it refreshing. And then you have a graphite note to the tannins that's being piqued up by that. There's some lovely dark fruit coming through, almost as sort of black plum, cooked prune, blueberry, hints of elderberry, that sort of thing. Very linear, very fine, not heavy, midway. The tannins have some grip. They're incredibly smooth and fine, but no astringency whatsoever. There is grip, but they're not drying. Maybe that's that hint of glycerol that I was talking about coming through. On the finish again, there's black fruit. Maybe a touch of cassis, not leafy cassis, very pure black currant note. Again, elderberry, it's that really quite concentrated dark fruit. And all this fruit is being made lovely and juicy by this fresh acidity. Alcohol's at about 13% on this vintage, so not particularly high. And I think that's letting the perfume show through there. The structure on the finish still has that sort of graphite note, but as I'm finding with so many wines in the 2024 vintage, it's really at the end of the palate that you see it. These are perhaps a little bit reticent to show you their fruit at first, but then by the end, once they've got comfortable with you, they're displaying this lovely, pure black fruit. And to be honest, for me, this is this essence Cheval Blanc, almost a little bit haughty, very refined, very well focused, quite linear style, really a wine of great elegance. And I think perhaps we need to get past the idea that a wine has to be a huge, ripe blockbuster whose tannins overpower your mouth until the wine is 10 to 15 years old and it's smoothed out a bit. This is a wine that has good acidity, it has some nice density on its finish. It may not be a wine to age for 50 years, it is a wine that probably needs 4 or 5 years before it opens and shows the whole of its beauty. The other thing I should probably mention is the fact that I haven't really mentioned oak tannins at all. I'm not getting obvious notes of sweet spice, of cinnamon, of cedar, of vanilla. What oak influence there is here is incredibly well integrated. This is a wine that's very well together now. Therefore, I think it's a wine that can only become more and more harmonious as it ages. So thank you so much for watching. I do hope you find the video of interest. If you do, please press the like button. If you'd like to watch more of our videos, do please sign up and subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you have any comments, please pop those in the comments box below. And if you have friends who you think might like to watch the video, do feel free to pass it on. I'll leave a link in the notes below to the Wine Searcher webpage for this vintage of this wine. And that way you can see, once it's available, what its price is and who's distributing it in your area. Thank you once again for watching. I'm in Bordeaux for another week. I hope to record more of these videos. I hope you'll join me for some of them. Till then, bye for now.